Hey everyone, welcome back to MGS Stories. I'm your host, Sunny Raman, and today I've got an inspiring story about dreams, determination, and breaking through limits. We'll be diving into the life of a young woman who didn't let her small town roots hold her back from achieving something great. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and don't forget to like and comment below if you enjoy the story. Your support really helps the channel grow, and I love hearing from you guys. All right, let's jump into today's story. Imagine growing up in a quiet little town where everything seems set in stone. The same streets, the same people, and the same path everyone seems to take. That's where we find Emma, a young woman full of big dreams, but trapped in a place that doesn't quite understand them. Emma grew up in a small town in the Midwest, the kind of place where the pace of life was slow and expectations were clear. You graduate from high school, get a steady job, and settle down, just like everyone else. But Emma was different. She wanted to become an engineer, to design structures that could shape the future. The problem? No one else saw that vision. Her parents, while supportive, were practical. Emma, her mom would say, "We don't have the money for college and you don't need to go. There are good jobs right here in town. Why take such a big risk?" It's tough, right? Wanting something so badly, but feeling like the world around you doesn't believe it's possible. But Emma didn't give up. Instead, she made a bold choice. She decided to walk into her school's guidance counselor's office. Nervous, but determined. She looked at Mrs. Turner and said, "I want to study engineering. I need to apply for scholarships, and I'll do whatever it takes." Mrs. Turner smiled. She knew Emma had the drive to make it happen. From that day on, Emma worked harder than ever. She applied for scholarships, worked part-time jobs, and saved every bit of money she could. She started to distance herself from her friends, who didn't quite understand why she was working so hard to leave town. Even her family, while proud, couldn't shake their doubts. One evening, as the sun was setting over the fields, Emma's father called her to sit with him on the porch. They sat in silence for a while, the crickets chirping in the background. Then, out of the blue, her father said something that would stick with Emma forever. "Did you know your great-grandfather was Lakota?" he said quietly. "He used to tell us something. Mitekuye Oyasin. It means we are all connected." He believed that even though we are tied to our roots, we are also free to create our own path. For the first time, Emma realized that she wasn't abandoning her family or her town. She was honoring them by pursuing her dreams in her own way. Not long after that conversation, Emma received the letter she had been waiting for. She was accepted into a prestigious engineering program. It was time to leave the small town behind and follow her own road. But the city wasn't exactly what she expected. College life was tough, especially in a field dominated by men. There were moments when Emma questioned if she was strong enough to keep going. But then she met Dr. Taylor, one of her professors. Dr. Taylor saw Emma's potential and mentored her, giving her the guidance and encouragement she needed. "You belong here," Dr. Taylor would say. "You've got something special, and the world needs to see it." And Emma believed her. Years later, Emma graduated at the top of her class and started working at a top engineering firm. She was finally living her dream. But the story doesn't end there. Despite her success, Emma realized that her journey wasn't just about her. She wanted to give back, so she returned to her hometown, this time not as the girl with big dreams, but as someone who had made them happen. She started a STEM program at the local high school, inspiring young girls, especially those from Native American backgrounds, to follow their passions and pursue careers in science and engineering. Emma knew that by following her dream, she wasn't just breaking free of the limitations of her small town, she was showing the next generation that they could do the same. And as she stood in front of those young students, she smiled and remembered her great-grandfather's words, "Mitakuye Oyasi, we are all connected." And that connection, that desire to push forward and create something greater is what makes all the difference. And that, my friends, is Emma's story. It's a reminder that no dream is too big, and that sometimes the best way to honor where you come from is by chasing what you believe in. If this story inspired you, don't forget to hit that like button and leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear about the dreams you're working toward. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to MGS Stories so you never miss another inspiring story. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next one.